Show the people what you're making.
I'm making paper flower bouquets for my friends because I saw them on TikTok and I thought they were cute. Hi!
Okay, is that against the rules? Alright. You want Mike back. Let's just cover up this ketchup thing.
People might not even see it. Could be part of the outfit.
It's part of the outfit. Welcome to the podcast, y'all. Today, we are doing a special episode. My beautiful daughter and today's guest, Alea.
Hey!
Yay! How about we give a little background? How old are you?
Oh.
What's your relationship experience?
I was like, I don't know the questions. I'm 16. I have zero relationship experience, but like I am rather opinionated myself.
Opinions, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So I have pulled some random relationship questions off of the internet. We're gonna go semi easy on you today. We're gonna keep these anonymous. Some things you should be able to relate to. First question, and she says, so I met a guy online I really liked, had one date with him, and we plan to meet up again. But his work has kept him traveling. Since he's due to come back to my area in 9 days, we said we'd meet up. I sent a pic of my Halloween costume to him last night, expecting him to like it, give him a little saucy sauce. But he basically said that that's why he don't want me as a girlfriend, and he would be constantly worrying while he's away. I didn't wear it to attract men. I wore it because I like it. But now I kind of feel like that's a red flag. But am I tripping? She met a guy, met him online. They've only had one date. Planned to meet up again, but he's a traveler. So they haven't had a chance to meet up again. But she sent him a picture of her Halloween costume. Now, she didn't say what her Halloween costume looked like. But she said she sent him a picture expecting him to like it. And he said, no, you doing stuff like that, you can't be my woman.
Like, I feel like he had a really strong reaction, and he has, like, you have a right to your own opinion. But, like, if she's dressing up for herself, one, it doesn't really matter how much she really likes it in the end. So, like, it's not that big of a deal. I feel like it's better that he's showing his true colors now, where they may be a little different from each other, so that she doesn't, like, get far into a committed relationship with him, and then she noticed, she's like, oh, so he like this, and then she's stuck in something she don't want.
Okay. What do you think about compromise? Do you think it's a good thing, bad thing?
I don't really think compromise is a bad thing. But like, at what point is compromise just like you taking crap just because you want to like make other people happy? Like, it really does have to be like a dual effort, you know? And the way that he reacted, it sounds like he doesn't seem like he would really compromise on something like that. I mean, obviously it's not that serious of a situation, but like, if it rubs her the wrong way, like if it really rubs her the wrong way, to just be better safe than sorry and just move on to the next.
Okay. All right. That's some great advice. Leia. I'm still trying to finish this pretzel. Give me a moment. It's delicious. Okay. Actually, that is probably exactly what I would have said. I think maybe we would have jumped right to saying, oh, no, he's the bad guy for trying to tell her how to dress. But the most important thing about this is just realizing that in the dating phase, you're getting to know each other. This is the discovery phase. So if you find things like that, it's not coming out for you to adjust yourself to them. It's coming out so you can decide if that is something that you want to put up with or not. On the difficulty level, what would you get at first question? 0 to 10.
Like a 2.
Okay. All right. We're going to the next one. This one is also from a female who says, what's your opinion on your significant other sending other girls heart eye emoji? Excuse me. Let me start that over. What's your opinion on your significant other sending other girls? I messed that question up again. Let me redo this one. What's your opinion on your significant other sending other girls heart eye emojis, for example, or constantly liking girls' pics? How would that make you feel? Is it cheating? Am I being gaslit right now because I saw it and I got mad and now he mad? Or am I just being jealous? Am I the a-hole?
I think that the word cheating, I mean, obviously it's like a social construct, so like, there's not like a perfect definition for cheating in a relationship. But I also feel like this generation uses it very loosely.
Like maybe hypersensitive to including things as cheating.
Yeah, this generation is just really confused on what they want to define cheating as. But
Do you think it's gaslighting? She said, am I being gaslit right now because I saw it and I got mad and now he mad?
the gaslighting depends on his intention of like his intention behind like arguing with you. Is it because he's tired? I mean, okay. My opinion on the hard eyes thing is, I would be kind of alarmed, but also like the first time you see it, you don't jump straight to 100. So like,
Now she did say constantly liking other girls' pics. She didn't say constantly
Okay.
with the heart eye emojis, but she said
me
constantly
personally,
liking
I
their
don't.
pics.
Okay, liking other girls' pics is not an alarming thing to me, especially if it's like somebody who he was friends with before you come around or before y'all date.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's unfair to like hold him at a double standard because like I don't think guys react the same way when girls like pics. Not all guys.
She said, is she just being jealous?
Yeah, that's where part of it comes from. But obviously, it's fair for you to like be more cautious about what your significant other does around like other women. But like also that'll make you question your trust for him. Like it'll really show whether or not you even truly trust your significant other. And then also it kind of shows that you're a little insecure.
Damn, you keep catching me as soon as I put a press on me, though. All good answers yet again. And I will say, you are correct. Your generation kind of really are very easily triggered. It's not even your generation, it's this era in human history. But I don't think that's a bad thing. Because I think that you have moments like this where a person is being triggered and now you can kind of highlight something that needs to be taken care of. This is a great moment for him to see that she still got some healing to do in terms of her own insecurities, and that he can kind of decide whether that is too heavy a job for him or not. And the same thing for her. The one thing she never said here is she even communicating with him? Like, all she said was that she got mad and now she thinks he's gaslighting her. These are great questions to ask him, you know, and you need to decide what you think cheating is. You don't ask other people to define it for you, because you know what you can handle and what you can't. All right, what you give that one on a difficulty scale?
A 3.
Okay, it's same.
I think it's like surface levels.
I don't think this one's gonna be a 3, maybe a 4. This is from a man. Is it normal for your girlfriend to not want to put your guys' relationship up on Facebook? She has it up and says she's in a relationship, but I told her it makes me insecure that it's not connected to me. I don't know if I'm worrying for nothing. She stopped tagging me in anything and doesn't really add anything I tag her into her profile, and I'll comment most times. She doesn't react to it or acknowledge it publicly. She also doesn't really care if she spends too much time with me or not. We could go 2 weeks without seeing each other, and I could say, hey, I could take Saturday off, but we could spend 2 nights together instead of 1. She always has some excuse as to why she can't, or just flat out says she doesn't want to see me until tomorrow. If I even still feel like it, is what she sometimes says after arguments. She recently broke a massive life-changing promise that was supposed to be fulfilled soon, and it shattered me, and she's showing me that she doesn't empathize or care, and she won't take it back. I don't know what to do anymore. I'm trying so hard to fight for her, but it always turns into bad arguments. What should I do?
This girl sounds like an adult version of a friend I know. I say that because it sounds like she's found that her, like, after the argument thing where she talks about maybe she doesn't want to see him, it sounds like her coping mechanism is to, like, put a lot of distance between her and whoever she's, like, being emotionally vulnerable with. And she never really learned to communicate, like verbalize how she's feeling. Yeah, it just sounds like she doesn't know Well, not that she doesn't know, but she hasn't like come around to like communicating verbally, displaying her feelings, which is like kind of important for a relationship. What was his question though? Was there a question?
What does he do?
Okay, well, it depends on if he's already talked to her about this. Because it's not like he really mentioned that he communicated with her about this. And if she's refusing to communicate, the only thing you can do is try to set an example in your relationship for communication. And then if she can't catch on from there after you directly verbalize how you're feeling, then it's kind of a lost cause. But on his part, there's only so much he can do. Like, if she refuses to be sympathetic, that's not really a problem on his part. The posting your relationship openly on your social media thing is I say it's very much a my generation problem. It's literally everywhere right now. I want to use the word cool because it's such a cliche-ish word. It became a popular thing to like be one of those girls who's like really attractive, and she'll make it very known she has a boyfriend, but make it also really hard to find out who her boyfriend is. And so like,
oh,
it's like mysterious.
Okay.
And so they'll post like a lot of couples content, but she won't reveal who her boyfriend is. It's a really popular thing. The question is, to what extent is her ignoring him on social media like her trying to keep that under wraps, or if it's just her trying to hide the fact that she's even in a relationship. Also, like, it's kind of a personal thing with him, like a personal insecurity thing. At least he's aware that he's insecure, like at least he's self-aware. But it's a personal insecurity thing for him to want to be like publicly stated that it's him who is her boyfriend. Like, I don't really think it's that important, like who her boyfriend is, as long as she's like, I have one.
What about her actively ignoring his tags and?
I mean, that's what I'm saying. How much, like, is that her trying to make sure that people don't, like, she does not revealing who her boyfriend is? Because, like, tags on Facebook and stuff are, like, public. Is that her trying to just keep it under wraps? Like, obviously, I understand where he's coming from. Like, I'm not saying that she's, like, not in the wrong. I don't really think it's like fully anybody's fault. I really think it's just lack of communication. For me, I would like feel what he's feeling, but I would communicate it a little more. He did say he felt insecure about it, but like it sounds like it's under his skin a lot more than he has communicated. And if he really did tell her, then I think maybe she really is a lost cause if she just really lacks that kind of sympathy for her significant other.
It sounds like to me a girl who broke up with him and he don't know about it. She don't want to spend time with him. She has no interest in supporting him or publicly associating herself with him. And the attempts that he has made to communicate have been red flaggish. And it doesn't even matter if it's a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. If you came to me and said there was something that I was doing that was making you insecure, I'm either going to like actively ignore it and that's my answer, or I'm going to do something about it and that's my answer. But either way, I'm giving you an answer.
But also, I'm losing my train of thought. Oh, she also might be one of those girls who like really likes to make people desperate for her attention.
If that's the case and she just likes to make people pine after her attention, there's a void she's trying to fill. Oh, look at that screen and make sure my phone is still even powered.
It is.
Yay! If this is how she treats her relationships, this is unhealthy as fuck. You know? Like you starve a person for your attention, starve them for your attention, and then boom, you all of a sudden you want to be next to them when you feel like being loved. That's called love bombing. And it's very much a narcissistic tactic. Making it mysterious about who your boyfriend is. I didn't know that was something that y'all did.
It's a big thing on social media.
Oh.
So, like, make it known you're in a relationship, but not who you want to go with.
No, cool. Thank you, Bookie. What do you give the complexity of that last question?
Like a 5.
Alright. Yeah, I'll say that one's about a 5. Since the camera's still rolling, you want to answer another one?
Sure.
Ooh.
Hold on. Wait for me to open the wrapper so it's not like over.
You know, I'm going to smash this too because I know it's about to be noisy. That's why I was trying to take big bites. Oh, it's so tasty though. It's my favorite junk food. This is my favorite like sweet thing to eat. A strawberry shortcake.
I'm eating the cinnamon brown sugar Belvita. I love Belvita. They're so good.
It always reminds me of those Lorna Doones.
Oh.
Alright, you ready?
Mm-hmm. Wait, sorry, you're just gonna record it until it dies?
What do you think about interracial relationships?
Relationship.
Okay, alright. Why do you think there's so much attention?
Not only there's stigma around it, but like it's just a normal relationship. The only thing that makes it different is the fact that people dress it like it's something different.
Do you think you could date someone outside of your race? Okay.
You already know.
That I do know, y'all. My daughter is very, very level-headed.
We were
very
just talking about
open-minded.
this.
I'm not the type of mom who would be all up in arms either if you came home with like an Indian boyfriend or a white boyfriend. I'm not on no bullshit. Colors don't matter so much.
I could because I don't care what other people think about me.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I did, how specific should I get?
You can get personal as you feel.
I've been a gifted student since 3rd grade. We had an all gifted school, so I was separate from a lot of our district. And I ended up being far less diversity in that school. And so once I moved up to middle school in my hometown, when all the elementary schools were together, I was still kind of set aside from the other students because all of us who went to gifted schools together were in the gifted classes together, so it was kind of no different. We were all just in the same building. And my aunts, like, I would come over to their houses and like we'd be having family events, and they would like taunt me about how like my first boyfriend's gonna be white, like all my boyfriends are gonna be white. Oh, if would I ever date a white kid? Like, and for me personally, like, if I like you, I like you. Like, I don't think specific personality traits are like specific to a race or ethnicity or whatever.
It's just like the quality of the person
is
what matters.
Cause I know black guys who I'm friends with who are attractive, but their personalities are just not for me.
If a person is trash, a person is trash.
Like personality is like, it's a personality that's like, oh yeah, you're funny, but you're disrespectful, and like I don't think I could tolerate that in a relationship.
Yeah, for me, it's more important to raise you to be in tune with yourself and what you're okay with and what you're not okay with, than it is to tune you into is a person's skin dark enough or light enough or whatever. So I think that's facts. Now, what about LGBTQ? How do you feel about those types of relationships?
I still just feel like it's a relationship. I think it's
Same thing.
Yeah, I just think it's another thing where it's like society just magnified it to something that really wasn't.
And do you feel like your peers, for the most part, would feel the same as you?
It depends on where I'm living.
So say we just talk about current moment.
Peers in general, it depends on what letter in LGBTQ plus you are. I know some of the gay guys at our school who are like this, like they have to tolerate a certain level of disrespect. There's a lot of stigma around being specifically a gay guy at our school. And then I know some, to be fair, there's far less, maybe I'm capping. I feel like there's not that many lesbian girls at my school, but there are a lot of people who are bi or pan at my school. The thing is, many people aren't like super flamboyant about being anything outside of heterosexual. It's just their business, and so you just accept them how they are. But the people who do have like a stereotypical like
presentation,
they're really mistreated,
targeted.
And I try my best to stand up for those people when I can.
How so? What's one example?
There's a specific kid at my school who's actually not gay. He's bi, but his personality, he's always stereotyped as gay. He's really targeted. He's friends with a lot of people, so like a lot of people don't take it seriously, but I tend to, because like I often try to put myself in his shoes, because like you can only tolerate so much, and he's really targeted like it's a daily thing.
What kind of things do people do when they target him?
Guys tend to just try to be like flirtatious with him to like provoke him, and like try to act like, oh, do you have a crush on me, simply because he likes guys. And so that I notice a lot though. A lot of straight people just assume that gay people have like no control.
Yeah, that's like assuming that just because a man is heterosexual that he must be into me.
I know more straight people who have less control over themselves than I do gay people with no control. Ow.
I think that's a fair statement to make, and I also think that part of it is because as a person who's not heterosexual, you've had to have control. You've had to be controlled about who you allow yourself to present authentically to and fully to, because it's not always safe for you. And you've also you have to be careful too about how you present and how that's affecting the people that you're associated with. Because sometimes a person's just mind their own fucking business, being LGBTQ or whatever, and just because somebody's friends with you, now their life is affected and they get mad at you, or however that works out. It's interesting how that ripples outward. But it all makes me hopeful, because the more we get exposed to it, even if it is a harsh backlash, because I think that's how evolution happens, having a spectrum of sexuality preferences is the new norm. That's the new normal. And I think that anytime something is pressing its way forward to be the new standard in humanity, there's always going to be a harsh backlash, and there's always going to be a great upliftment of support. And both of those energies will come together. The water gets choppy, and then it kind of evens out. And whatever the new norm is, that's what we do. It's the same thing with gas prices. We all got so fucking mad when gas is like 3 something a gallon, and it shot up to 5, and then now we back down to 3 something, and it's nothing. It's like nobody bats an eye.
I think also anybody who's not from my generation, like, it seems like you said, it was like, oh, it's become the new norm, but like I just think it's become more comfortable to consider that you might not be heterosexual, like to explore your sexuality. And like that doesn't necessarily mean there's going to be more people who are not heterosexual, but like people are allowed to be confused because it's their own business. Like I personally think it's like kind of weird to have to come out.
It is.
Especially if it's like coming out to society, like you shouldn't have to warn people that you're gay.
Yeah.
That's kind of weird to me.
If that's what my preference is, then my expectation is that it'll be respected. And I love what you said about people have the right to be confused, and you're right. I think part of creating a new standard for what's normal, quote unquote, means that people do get the privilege of having more comfort and more general lack of pushback and exploring that area, because people are desensitized to how shocking it is that other people might not be like them in that way, you know? Leia, you're so fucking thoughtful. I love how critically you assess, and I really love the fact that you walk your talk, because I do personally know that you do come to the defense of any, it doesn't even have to be LGBTQ, it can be handicapped, it can be different cultures, it can be anything. You really are a protector, a keeper, a guardian of that space, and I think that's so beautiful about you. Your dope ass energy. If the camera's still going, do you want to answer another interesting one?
Sure.
One last one to take us on out. This one is from a female, and she says, I'm really obsessed with my ex. I was obsessed with him before I met him, and then I'll do anything to be with you type of way. Now he hurt me, so I'm obsessed with him in a I'll do anything to make sure you don't forget about me type of way. I do anything to keep tabs on him. He used me for sex knowing that I was a virgin. He got mad at me one day and just discarded me for other women. And now he acts like I barely exist. Sometimes I'll try to move on, and then he'll randomly text me saying, I miss you, you so perfect, and then I get sucked back in. Then I end up ranting and insulting him because talking to him is traumatizing for me. He doesn't know how to communicate properly through text. He always tells me to come see him in person. He wants me to live with him. I haven't seen him in person in 7 months, and I really don't feel ready to do it anytime soon. But I feel like that's the only way I'll get him to understand me. I can't fathom being someone that he just drops like a bad habit after he got what he wanted. He has way too much baggage, and he also abandoned me when I needed him. So for that, I'm always going to have these spiteful feelings toward him. I know deep down I don't want to be with him, but I'm just going through this limerence phase that I can't bring myself out of. I want him to feel how he made me feel. Sorry for ranting. What should I do?
It just sounds like she has a really addictive personality. Like, I don't think it's healthy to be that obsessed with somebody. Like, I don't feel like she's properly thought through, like, okay, how is this actually gonna benefit you? Like, I feel like she's wasting a lot of, like, energy on something that she really won't have that much positive output from. Like, she's like, okay, so she said, I now want to make sure that he never forgets me, but, like, my question is, for what reason? Like, how does that actually help you? Yes, he was wrong. I don't know if it's a hot take to think that everybody has, like, the right to move on. I feel like nobody has, like, all proud moments. But, like, I don't think it's necessarily right to want to traumatize somebody back.
And I feel like it's a younger energy, but I don't know. I might be assuming that because she was a virgin, but I actually feel like this is a very emotionally intelligent person who is, yes, very swept up in her passion to the point of obsession. But do you know how many people are obsessed and not aware of how obsessed they are? And not necessarily aware that this is like, I know I shouldn't be doing it. She said that in there, I realize that he's not good for me, and I know I don't want to be with him. So she has kind of thought through some things like, I want to be with him, I want him. Why do I want him? I don't even want to be with him. So she has done a little bit of critical thinking at least. And I actually think that this is a shared responsibility. You can kind of provoke unhealthy attachments in people. And what it is, we talked about love bombing with one of the questions. This sounds very much like the same effects that love bombing would have. Is starving somebody for attention and alternating that with patterns of giving them lots of what they want. For her, when you lose your virginity to somebody, you really have to be careful. There is a extremely delicate attachment that forms when they lose their virginity to somebody. She's just trying to get her emotions under control, but I think she's on the right track. I would say she needs to talk to somebody because she's very aware of her emotions, and that's part of what will de-intensify them. It's just being constantly aware of your emotions, even if you can't change them, because being aware of them it naturally simmers them down. But I think she needs to talk to somebody, and for sure, she says she hasn't seen him in 7 months. She is on the right track by separating herself physically from him. I think she should continue to do that. Obsession is it's a very interesting phenomenon. You feel like you've ever been obsessed?
Yeah, but, like, it's very periodic for me. But, like, when I say it's very short periods, like, just like, man, I thought about this person more than I've ever thought about anybody else, and that's what I'm gonna label as obsessed.
Okay, I see.
But, like, my definition of obsessed, yes, I have, but it was, like, small, like a 2-day period, and then I kind of simmered down a little bit and tried to rationalize with myself, and then I was like, okay, now that you've looked at it from a realistic standpoint, okay, how do you really feel?
Right.
And then I determined how I feel, but it's never been like a 7-month period where it's like, okay, 7 months later, yeah, maybe I haven't seen him, but I'm still thinking about him, and I still want him to not
Yeah.
forget me and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I just tend to move on quickly, and I say it's because I get bored, but, like, it's not that I get bored. It's just my attention isn't really consistent.
It's not that your attention isn't consistent, it's that you don't consistently give attention to things that don't benefit you. If I come to your business and I shop there the first time and I get horrible service, and then I come the second time and I get horrible service again, I'm not going to keep coming giving my money to this business where I'm getting a horrible, return for my investment. And I think that's a smart way to be. I think it's good to try things, but definitely be a person who's here, there, and everywhere if you're finding that the thing that you're trying or the person that you're giving a chance to or the situation that you're considering is not for you. Okay, it's literally 8 o'clock on the dot. I'm in my drop top. Whatever. Anyway, thank you for joining the podcast. And Alea will definitely be back giving relationship advice with zero relationship experience, but a whole lot of emotional intellect. A whole lot of that. But maybe we'll bring other things into it too. We can talk about that. Tell people how they can. Nah, I don't want nobody to know how they can reach you. That's something I'm trying to train myself to do at the end of the podcast, but not this one. Your friends know how to find you. But for me, I'm at CocoCure1111 on every social media platform. And I thank y'all for joining. Namaste. Namaste. You know what that means?
I knew it, but I forgot.
The light in me honors the light in you. Thank you for joining, Buki.
You almost tripped me.
Sorry. Leia, I'm about to knock your ass out.
Are you recording already?
Yeah, Leia. You gotta do the namaste hands like namaste. Oh! See, I can't even be nice to you.